Guys, Tattoo for you, Richard here, and it's time for a tips, tricks, and whoopsies video. That's right. We's time to play with some wonderful tips. The coolest tips and tricks of them all. That's right, we're going back to the basing videos that I've been doing. They've been doing. This is only the second one, so I haven't been doing them very much. But it's part two. We're going to get more of the basing tutorial stuff going on. And today we're just going to kind of make everything crazy. We're going to throw things on its head. Just make the world upside down. Let's see what we can do on this bad boy. See what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Don't matter. Let's go table down and find out. Let's go. Here we go, guys. We're table down now. We's table down and I'm sniffling, sniffles, sniffles. All right, so here's the bases we did last week. See these? Now, they're not primed or anything, but look. See that? I'm pressing down pretty dang hard on there. I mean, look, I'll show you how hard I'm pressing down. See, that's a big old pile of grit. I'm pressing down. Look at my thumb. Enough to leave an indentation on there. These bases are pretty dang sturdy. Toss them around. Grit is not breaking off. It is done. Same for over here. See, that's on there really well. I can give this a good. I could probably pop this off if I wanted to, just because of where it's at and science. But it's on there. I mean, it's going on there. You're gonna toss this around. It's not gonna bust off. This is gonna break because it's plastic. This is like a hard shell now. And adding paint to it, primer to it, paint to it, and all that stuff is just gonna make it thicker and even harder, and toughen it up a bit more. So yeah. So there's the bases. That is good. Today, what we're doing is, you ever sit there and you're thinking, man, I want to add depth to my bases, but it's just, then my model's like 6 feet in the air. It's like, hey, look, here I am up here. He ain't behind cover, but yeah, he is. No, he's not. That wall's only 1/4 of an inch tall, or 3/4 of an inch tall, and your dude's completely like 5 inches above it. But he's dynamic posed. It's like, doesn't matter. I can shoot him. No cover save in your face. So, what do we do for that? How do we limit that? Well, thanks to some things I've seen and seen around, you do this. Here is your base. Isn't it pretty and beautiful? Flip it over. Now you have a little bowl. Yeah, you've got the little beveled edges on the outside, but that doesn't really make a difference. That's nothing. And same thing with any of these big bases. Flip them over and you have yourself a recess. So you can add some of your depth downward so you don't have to add it up. Now for these bigger bases, I've already popped one off. They tend to have the little pegs in them so you can drill the hole and glue the flight stand on it. Cool thing about it is with these little snips I have, I can just take it, get centered on it, pinch it, it breaks, and then pop it right off. Now, I did one already and it came off cleaner and smoother, but this is camera, so why do it exactly how I was thinking? The other thing too is you don't necessarily have to take all these off. You just figure what your base is going to look like in your head. Kind of think about it and plan what you're going to do to the base. Most of the time, whenever I'm doing it, the bases will kind of just, I'm not going to say that, it's so silly. They talk to me. The bases talk to me. Hi, Richard. We're the bases. I'm 32 millimeter and I'm 40. So, or the other guy's 40. Sorry. I'm two people. My duality's crazy. But I think you should do this to me. Don't let him talk to you like that because you're the boss. Just know that. Sorry about the sniffles, guys. There we go. See, those last two popped off easier. But it still doesn't matter. Those little ones that didn't pop off, well, that's fine. But now you have, again, you have yourself a nice little bowl to do stuff in. And you got little plastic bits you can throw in some grit for texture and junk. So, now you have your bowls. What are you going to do with those? The same thing you do with every base. You figure out what you want to put on it. How do you want to go with it? Do you want cork? Do you want plastic wreckage bits. What do you want to do? How do you want to do this? So give me a second. I'm going to pause the video. I'm going to gather some stuff up, and we're going to get ready and start building out both these bases. We'll do both of them. So give me a moment. All right, guys, here we are. We're back. I got things and bits and stuff to use for these bases now. So we have my grit, obviously. My 2 little bottles to seal everything on there. Super glue to glue on some of the heavier plastic bits first. I've got my cork. And then we have little plastic bits I'm going to use. I kind of have an idea for the bigger base. The littler base, I'm going to keep it as fairly simple. I'm not going to speak proper English. I'm going to... No, I don't know what I'm going to say. Oh, what was that? Oh, somebody shot me in the arm. That hurt. Cat, it's all your fault. Got a cat in here with me today. Ghost is missing her mommy. She's out of town. So, okay. So here's the little bitty base. We're going to start with it. First things first, I'm going to put a little super glue in here. And I'm actually going to put quite a bit. Just so I can... You know, I don't got to worry about it running out anywhere. Unless I tilt it over all stupid like. Then I'm going to grab a piece of something. Let's see. Nope, don't want it too big. Just enough to where... our miniature, we have something we can drill into for our miniature. Because I am going to put grit on this base too, so it'll still have this a similar texture to all the other ones that I'd like to do. Alright, so there we go. We're going to start with that. We're going to let that dry really good. And this will be, since our miniatures are plastic, you don't need a lot of surface area. Unless you're using a metal model, you're going to want more area and you're going to want to center your model more on your base. Because if you put a metal model further to the back, that thing's going to tip over every single time, especially if it's a really top-heavy one. See, like something like this guy, he's really heavy, man. He's going to fall over and knock things over constantly. So we want to make sure they're centered as good as possible on the base. With a plastic figure, let me see if I got one handy. One that's not already on a base. So, anyway, so like say I'm gonna do a towel. This guy. I will drill a pin in his foot. Is this focus? I'll drill a pin in his foot right here, a hole. I'll run a paper clip up to his ankle. Like I'll drill as deep as I can to the ankle, make sure it's good and centered. Put that paper clip in there at an angle with it while it's glued and let it dry. After it dries, I'll bend the paper clip straight down. And then I can just sit there and drill a hole and I can put this model back here. I don't know if you can see it. These angles just are weird. Boom. You know, put him on there, something like that. And then I'll have that open area down there to do stuff with. I could leave this like this and call it a day, you know. Not put any grit on it at all. Just don't. And then what I'm going to do with both of these, I'll tell you right now, is when I paint them, I'm going to spray prime them. Go ahead and paint them all up. And then in here, I will paint it like a lighter shade of like a bluish green or something. And then I can come back with a water effect. And we can pour that water effect in there and have it fill up nice and neatly. And you can do it all the way to the edge. So like he's stepping across onto some rocks or something. And don't worry about if things are moving around a little bit because we'll seal them here in a second. So let's go ahead and plan this base out next. I'm going to get some glue in here. Not super glue because it's super. Hey glue, did anybody ever tell you how super you are? You're super. Alright, so more on that side. I don't want to do this like this. Let's do it like that so I'm not in the way as much. Yeah, there we go. Let's hold that down for a second. All right. So that is on. That is done. Those are there. They're not fully dried yet. But now we're going to move on to the next things. Now, before I do my grit, you got to plan this out. Your grit is kind of like your top layer. That's where everything's going to go. If you want your miniatures to tie in better to this too, I didn't say this last time, but you could, but since I just dry brush mine, you could pin your miniature down. You could even paint it and pin it down on this uncompleted base. Then add your grit and seal it and have some of the grit go over the foot. I did that with my Imperial Night House because I wanted a little bit of that dirt and that grit up on the foot like they were tromping in it hard. Especially things like mud effects. Like if you're wanting to have like a muddy base, you can do something similar to this. And like I did, glue your miniatures down first. Like I even paint mine up. So that way any like little holes in there, and I will dry brush lightly over the foot area. Because you're going to want some of that brown and muck on their shoes. But you don't want to totally mess up their paint job. It's like, I don't even know what I'm rambling. I'm sorry. Shut up, Richard. You're being weird. So now I want over here. I've got this little Space Marine head. And I'm going to use it as, I'm going to pretend it's a helmet that got chucked off in the middle of the battle. Oh, I meant to add scratches on it and I didn't do it yet. I'll do it when it dries. And then I'm going to have a busted bolter the same way, kind of dropped. And then when I fill it up with water effects, it'll be partway in the water. And like I said, I'll paint all this stuff up, have it completely painted and done up, and then I have it all completely painted and done up, and then fill the water effects in afterwards. So, like I said, I'm not going to do much more to this one, except we are going to add some grit. Just going to want to fill out the base just a little bit. And now, luckily having this little spout, I can only put a small amount in there and put it on there in areas I really think I need it. If you want water, you want to have a little bit of grit in the water area too. And then I'll go back again and do what I normally do. Saturate it in a way you can see it, maybe. And then glue it. So someone was asking me on my last video, I don't know if I kind of explained it well enough then. What's the purpose of the alcohol? Why do you use the alcohol? Well, because it's a flow aid. It breaks the surface tension of the glue. Because like I was showing it, I did show it, but I put it on white. If you drop the glue on a table, it does that. It just balls up. Now, watch what happens when I add just a drop of alcohol. It spreads it out. It starts to actually break that surface tension. So here we're going to put some alcohol here. And I'm going to drop that same drop on the alcohol. Boom, and it spreads. I told him it was the equivalent of using flux when you solder. Because if you just take a soldering iron and you just straight up put that solder on the spot you're wanting, it's going to bead up. It's going to ball up. It's not going to flow. So when you use flux is an acid, and it takes that solder wherever the flux is. As soon as you put the solder to the metal where the flux is, it's going to follow, the metal's going to follow that flux. I'll fill in some of these gaps, a little bit of grit on here. Maybe I don't want this whole area back here. Yeah, I want this whole area back here filled in. There we go. I think what I'm doing is I'm going to give this base to this guy. So, yeah, there we go. I like that. Okay. So, boom. Same thing. Go over with some alcohol. I can go around here with the guns and stuff too to kind of, if I want to make sure they're extra sealed in. Now the big problem with me showing you this effect and stuff is I don't have any real water effects. I have a couple of things I could possibly use. One does, when it dries, it is kind of milky, but I can always add a little bit of like washed out paint in it to kind of thin it a bit, to kind of give it some color, so I can give it that kind of green color like muddy, dirty water. I want to put a little bit more over here and fill up this side too. So really, honestly, the main thing I'm showing you on this basing tutorial here, guys, is the fact that you can flip the bases over and give yourself some downward depth. So, let me add this glue. Make sure it's all good and sealed. I think I put plenty of glue on this side. I don't mind. I'll just keep doing it just to make sure. But there you go. And now I have that deep recessed area. Like, yeah, I know there's a W in there, but I can paint over that and prime over it and stuff enough. I won't thin my paints. Or I could even take some fine sand here and just kind of give it a little dusting in there. And hide it if we're worried about it. But boom, there you go. There. And we'll let all that dry. So we have this guy here. Again, the same deal. A little bit of grit, a little bit of sand, a little bit of whatever on here. And then we have a perfect little base that I can put water effects in there. You can do the same thing with a lava effect. Paint, like, do your raised up areas and then paint down in there more like lava. I have another effect for lava that I'll show maybe next time. We'll see. But for now, we're going to pause the video. And when we come back, it's probably going to be a day later. So that way I can let this stuff dry really good. And I'll have painted, I'll prime them up. And then I'll show you the painting, like how I paint them to give them that extra depth. So, I'll see you later, guys.
All right, guys. So I made a boo-boo, and stuff didn't get recorded. I thought I was recording things, and stuff didn't happen. And yeah, so you didn't get to see me paint up anything at all. Whoa, that stuff will come out. It will come out. All right, so what I'm using, let me just show you. Where's the bases? Here's the first one. Oh, see, look, hair. There's hair in there. So what I did is I just added a little bit of blue and some green sploochy down at the bottom of there. I would like to have gone on and added some moss, but I'm out of moss. And honestly, I haven't even sealed this yet. Oh, look at that. That's not even on good. So, I'm just going to show you what I painted so far. So, I just did my little rock tones and my colors and stuff. And then the blue for the water area and a little bit of green in there. Just kind of give it that murky look. Same thing on this one. Yeah, look, there's a Imperial Fist helmet there. I need to put a wash over this too. Just to kind of muddy it up a little bit more. I did the same thing, did the brushing around and stuff. This is really washed out. I'm using my phone light today. And it's really making it kind of crazy. You like that? I'm pretty. Where is my wash? I'm going to do that real quick. I want to do that real quick. I don't have an empty slot. Where's the empty slot? Whatever. There we go. So, you see me do a little bit of painting. Hopefully I won't knock my camera over. But, got my wash. This is a Liquitex ink. I'm just going to slobber it all over this. to make it all muggy looking. It looked like it was thrown in some water down here. I don't know what the camera's focusing on. Do it over the gun too. I want it to look all gross like it was dropped in the water. And dull down some of that silver. Do a little bit of wash down here too. I don't care because I'm going to put some okay. With the light shining on it so much, that yellow is so bright, but a normal natural light, it looks a little bit better. It's more dirty. See if I can. See, it focuses right on there, makes it look all weird. And wonk wonk. Anyway, put a little bit of this wash down the base of this too. Kind of muddy it up a little bit more. Okay, so done that. Got a little slop down in there. Now my gloss I've been using lately, the spray varnish, as being a pain in the butt, so I'm not going to use it anymore. It's been sputtering and spitting out like really upsetting me. So it is in timeout. So here's the base, almost finished. Now I've given it depth by going down, right? That's the whole goal of this process. And the reasoning is because of this dimensional magic. Now this is going to be really difficult for me because I'm going through the camera, but I'm going to fill in this whole area. And it's going to be a milky look right now, but it'll dry clear. I'm going to use a lot too because it'll like I said, it'll dry clear, and I'm going to give it some dimensional magic. Okay, I'm going to go off camera real quick. Hold on. There we go. Now check it out. So what I just did, what this allowed me to do is fill this base up. And like that the green and the muck from the ink is kind of bleeding out throughout in there. That looks really cool when it dries. Like I said, that gives it depth. That allows you to do this. Allows you to fill up that and create that deep water look to it. If you're looking to do this next time, like try something like this out, you want to give that, put water on your bases and stuff and things like that. Give this a shot. Give it a try and see what you think. Make sure too, though, whenever you put this down, you put it on something level because this stuff will run and go crazy. So let me see. Nope, that's not level. I don't have anything level. Hopefully it's level up there. My whole house is not level because the foundation is crap. But I'm going to do the same thing with this guy here. My last little bit of dimensional magic. I need to get some more of this. I like this little dropper bottle because it's easy for me to fill in stuff. Let me peek off camera real quick. See, the deal with this is I pretty much fill up the entire base with my big fat fingers. Where's the... There we go. Thumbtack. Okay, see? Oh, it's like a video game. Am I right? Am I going right area? There's one. Come on, pop bubble. Bubble's not... Oh, are you serious? Man, that is a cheeky little bubble there. What is up with that bubble, boy? Death to you, bubble! I hate you! Seriously. This is the bubble of evilness. Oh my gosh, are you serious? Oh, it's split in two and it created two new bubbles. Ah! Bubbles. Come on. Oh gosh, there's more than ever. Oh, okay, there's just a little critter down underneath there. Oh, look at that. That looks like four little eyes of a spider there. Crap. Oh well. Tips, tricks, and whoopsies. trying to fight off some stinking bubbles, and you created like 4 or 5 more. But anyway, this will dry clear. Oh no! Oh, I dropped it face down too. Holy crap. I messed up the bubbles. They're not happy. Look at them. They're angry bubbles now. Anyway, I'll let this dry. And then I'll put pictures at the end of the video. So I'm doing this right now on Saturday. So when this came out, these will be good and dry. So, and if I need to, I'll add another layer because sometimes this stuff shrinks, I believe. But I can layer on top of it too, so it's no big deal. I'll let it dry, and if it shrinks, I'll add some more, let it dry again, and we'll give it more depth. But this is the main thing, guys. This is what I want to show you. Just show you some stuff you can do. I added depth to my bases by going down instead of up. Now, granted, only what? Is that 5 millimeters, maybe? If that, I don't know how to. I'm not a millimeter man. That's like 1/4 of an inch, 1/8 of an inch. I don't know. 1/8 of an inch. Ain't 1/8 of an inch, you idiot. I'd say 1/4 maybe. But anyway, I went down and allowed myself to have more depth and give that like a pool. So imagine like a whole squad on bases like this. It looked like they're trudging through some swampy water. Anyway, guys, that's all I want to show you. Like I said, I will leave at the end of this video photos of the dried finished pieces. Possibly with models on them. Probably not, though. Because the model is a surprise. Which I think they will have the model by the time this video goes out. But anyway, guys, I love you so much. And I thank you for stopping in and joining me. I hope you got some inspiration for doing some bases, kind of just flipping the world upside down a little bit and doing it your own way. And just showing you that you don't have to do everything exactly how the instruction booklet says. Give it a shot, guys. Look at my nasty fingers. Holy crap, those are HD ready. Guys, I love you so much. I thank you. Until next time, I think we're going to do some lava bases next. We'll see. Keep rocking that nerd life, my friends. I'll see you later.